Hello again, and welcome to part 15 of Bad Dad by David Walliams. Chapter 44, Sneeze Juice. "Super to see you again, young Frank," said the lady as the boy opened the door for her. She was carrying a bouquet of wild flowers. "Hello, Vicar," said the boy. They stood there looking at each other for a moment. "Can I come in?" she asked. "If that's the Vicar, please let her in at once," called Flip from the kitchen. "That makes a nice change," said Reverend Judith. Flip wafted towards them, wearing her floatiest, floweriest dress. She became quite emotional upon seeing the flowers. "For me?" she asked. "Yes," said Judith. "I picked them myself." "No one has ever brought me flowers before. Thank you so much." Flip sniffed the flowers and then instantly sneezed on them. "Choo!" "Are you all right?" asked the vicar. Yes, I am very slightly allergic to flowers, but I love them." Flip arranged them in a vase on the dining table. "Choo!" She sneezed again, louder this time. "So you've never been married?" asked the vicar. "Married?" scoffed Flip. "I've never been kissed." "Really?" said the vicar. "Yes, not once. All that romance nonsense passed me by years ago." It was such a sad thought to have lived a whole life without love that neither Frank nor Judith knew what to say. Fortunately, Flip broke the silence. "Let's all sit down for dinner," she announced. The three took their places at the table. "I hope you like rabbit and dandelion quiche," said Flip. The boy grimaced. The vicar replied, "I have never tried it, but I'm sure it will be delicious. Let me say grace." Flip closed her eyes in prayer, so the boy did the same. "Dear Lord, may you bless this quiche this night and bless the special parishioner who cooked it. Amen." "Amen." "Amen," copied Frank, although he didn't know what amen meant. The vicar took a bite of her food and grimaced. "How's the quiche?" asked Flip. Delicious," lied the lady. Somehow Flip's quiches were always rubbery and hard to bite into. "Wonderful. So how was church on Sunday, Reverend?" Judith is fine." The pair giggled. The boy felt like a gooseberry sitting between them. "How was the church on Sunday, Judith?" The sneeze was much louder this time. Apologies, Judith. I think some of my sneeze juice sprayed over you." No matter," said Judith, wiping snot from her eye. "Frank and I are so sorry we missed Sunday service. Tell Judith where we were, Frankie." "At a poetry society competition," sighed the boy, still bored at the memory of the weekend. How did you do?" asked the vicar. "Very well," replied Auntie Flip. "I came 97th. Congratulations. 97th. "Thank you," Flip blushed with pride. "How many entrants were there?" 98, replied Frank. Well, that's not bad," said Judith, trying to look on the bright side. "One poetess got disqualified for biting another competitor," added Flip. "She said she'd stolen a rhyme. She rhymed gherkin with twerking." "Oh dear," said Judith, who suddenly seemed put off her quiche. "That was the only good bit," said Frank, with a smirk. "No, it wasn't," snapped Flip. "As you can imagine, the Poetry Society has a zero-tolerance policy for biting." "I can imagine." Another noseful of snot flew across the dining table, drenching the vicar. "Shall we move the flowers?" asked Judith. Yes, that's probably a good idea. Frank, be a good boy." The boy picked up the vase and took it to the kitchen. "So, how many worshippers did you have at church on Sunday?" asked Flip. The vicar looked hesitant to answer. Just one," she murmured. That's not too bad, Judith. At least one person came." No, it was just me," replied the vicar. "Oh, dear." "Oh, dear, indeed." Frank came back into the dining room and announced, "You know, Dad and I will come to church every Sunday." The two grown-ups looked at each other concerned. What was the boy talking about? His father was looking at a 10-year stretch. He wasn't going to Sunday service any time soon. "If you help me Break him out of prison. Chapter 45. Master Plan. I am a vicar, exclaimed the vicar. And I'm a librarian, exclaimed the librarian. We can't be. I think the phrase is busting your father out of prison. Please listen to me first, said the boy. The words tumbled out as Frank told the two old ladies the whole story, how Dad had borrowed money from the evil Mr. Big and how the debt had spiralled, how his father had been tricked into taking part in the robbery, how Dad had kept quiet in the trial to save his son from being hurt by Mr. Big's henchmen, Fingers and Thumbs. The boy finished up by saying, That judge was wrong. My dad is not a bad dad. He is a good man who did a bad thing. He did it to save me from getting hurt. Dad doesn't deserve to be in prison. We need to help him escape. The two ladies looked at each other in silence. It was Reverend Judith who spoke first. A great wrong has been done to your father. No doubt about it. I wish we could do something to right that wrong. But with respect, Judith, two wrongs don't make a right, said Flip. The lady then turned to Frank. I'm sorry, but you're asking us to take part in something very wrong. I promise you, those 10 years will pass before you know it. This made the boy mightily angry. 10 years? 10 years? I'll be 21 in 10 years. An old man. Frank stood up, knocking his chair over with a bang. And you know what, Auntie Flip? I hate quiche and poetry. I want my dad back, and if you won't help me, I'll do it all by myself. Frank ran out of the dining room and up the stairs to his bedroom. Frankie! Called Flip after him. The boy slammed the door and lay down on his little pink bed, his legs dangling off the end. He could hear that the two ladies were talking downstairs. Frank picked up an empty glass on the bedside table. He slid off the bed and put his ear to the glass, and the glass on the floor so he could listen to what they were saying. Those two henchmen have been terrorising people all over town, said Judith. They need to be stopped. They even stole the gold communion goblet from the church. Dreadful. I came face to face with them in court, a truly nasty pair. It's not fair that the boy's father is paying the price for their misdeeds. You forget he drove the getaway car. There's no escaping that. Gilbert committed a serious crime. But he only did it to protect his son. Oh, it's such a mess. But if my nephew did try to escape from prison, he'd be captured and sent straight back and get a longer sentence. Oh, we have to do something, though. If only there was a way of putting all that money back. Bing! The boy's brain lit up with an idea. That was exactly what he could do to help his father. Put the money back in the bank. How could Dad be guilty if no money was missing? Trembling with excitement, Frank wonkily wrote down his master plan. 1. Break into Mr. Big's country house. 2. Steal £500,000 out of Mr. Big's safe. 3. Break into the bank. 4. Put £500,000 in the bank's vault. It was simple but brilliant. There was just one problem. The boy had absolutely no idea how he could put any of this plan into action. All Frank knew was that it would be impossible to do it alone. He needed a grown-up to help him. But who? Chapter 46. A Riddle. There was one person Frank knew who could give him some advice, his friendly local newsagent. Ding! Ah, my favourite customer, exclaimed Raj on seeing the boy. The newsagent tried to be his usual jolly self, but there was sadness in his eyes. The man was sweeping up shards of broken glass from the floor. Someone had smashed in the front window of his shop. Are you all right, Raj? What happened? Raj picked up a brick from the counter. This came through the window in the middle of the night. It came with a note attached to it. Look. It read, We demand 200 a week or next time the brick will hit you. Fingers and Thumbs? Asked Frank. Of course. They need to be stopped. I know. I don't know where I'm going to find the money. I'm sorry, but I don't have any today. That's all right, young sir. I know times are hard with your father in prison. Raj put a comforting arm round the boy. Please help yourself to anything in the shop for free. Free? Frank couldn't believe his ears. Yes, anything you like. Wow, thank you, Raj. Up to a value of 8p. Oh. The boy couldn't hide his disappointment. He picked up the smallest chocolate bar he could see. That's 10p, young man. Oh. Pass it to me, please, said Raj, gesturing with his hands. The boy did what he was told. Raj then unwrapped the bar, took a bite off the end and passed it back to the boy. That was a 2p bite. There you go, we're even now. Thanks, Raj. Frank was too hungry to worry about Raj's gob-gloop on the bar and happily demolished it in seconds. My dad isn't the real bad guy, you know. I'm sure he is a good man, your father. Fingers and thumbs made him do it. That makes sense. And they are free to threaten everyone in town while your poor father sits in jail. I can't bear it. I can imagine. Have a free penny too. Thanks, Raj, replied Frank, popping a raspberry fizz into his pocket for later. Dad got caught up in this really bad debt that spiraled way out of control. He was only trying to help me. Now I need to help him. I just need to steal the £500,000 from the men who stole it in the first place and put it back in the bank. Raj pondered on this. I suppose if nothing was stolen, then the judge might let your father out of prison. That's what I'm hoping. But how on earth are you going to steal the money and put it back in the bank? The boy looked down to the floor. I have absolutely no idea. Oh, replied the newsagent. I am sorry, I have no idea either. The only person I know who could help me do all that is my dad, said Frank. Well, you could always wait 10 years until he was let out of prison and do it then. Frank looked at the newsagent. Surely no one was that daft. There'd be no point, Raj, as he would have served his time by then. Oh, you silly me. The newsagent slapped himself in the face. To get my dad out of prison, I have to get him out of prison. Raj looked puzzled. That is like a riddle, but yes, you are right. The problem is your dad was sent to the most high-security jail in the country. In 100 years, no one has ever escaped from Wrongfoot prison. No? Wrongfoot is where they put all the naughtiest criminals. It's not fair, exclaimed the boy. My dad doesn't deserve to be in there. I hate not being with him. Now I have to go and live with his aunt, Auntie Flip. Raj suddenly remembered something. I had Auntie Flip in here this morning. She wanted to know if I sold goose. Goose? She said she needed one for a quiche. Oh, no, that'll be my dinner. I told her she might be able to catch one down by the ponds. She'd never been in my shop before. Then how do you know it was her? Asked the boy. She looks exactly like your father. Older, of course, and a lady, but I could immediately see the resemblance. The same sticky-out ears that you have. No offence. None taken, lied the boy. I asked her if she and your father were related, and she explained who she was. To my eyes, they could be twins. Frank screwed up his face. You think so? Put some glasses on him, and he would be her double. Ha ha ha! The boy chuckled. His eyes widened as he started to see his plan unfold in his mind. Raj, you are a genius. Am I? Yes! The boy was so happy he wanted to dance. He grabbed hold of Raj and gave him a big kiss on his balding head. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, what did I do? The newsagent was befuddled. I'm sorry, Raj, it's a secret for now. Ding! The boy skipped off down the street. All he had to do now was persuade Auntie Flip to swap places with his dad in prison. How hard could that be? There we go. That's the end of part 15. Thanks a lot for listening. I hope you enjoyed Bad Dad. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe as it helps to support the channel. Okay, see you next time for part 16. Thanks, bye.